Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Doc.
My question to you is, what are the challenges you faced during your term as mayor in Sagbayan?
One of the challenges and problems during my term is the adequate water supply to our constituents, and also the patient transport vehicle or ambulance,
Yes.
and also the Covid-19 pandemic.
So, how did you overcome these challenges?
I overcome these challenges by, number one, adding more reservoirs. Actually, during my term, we already added 4 reservoirs and 5 pumping stations.
Yes. Okay.
And also, we purchased 3 transport vehicle, and also repaired our 1 Starix van that was already on standby. And for the COVID-19, we also made our quarantine and isolation facilities ready, so that we could admit our patients to our facilities rather than home.
So, what are your future plans for Sagbayan?
Facing this COVID pandemic, so we have to focus more on building more facilities so that we can accommodate more patients, and also add more transport vehicles, and continue with our development projects like roads, farm to market roads, and also the water system to provide adequate water supply to our constituents.
Hey, Ma'am Rosel, my question for you is, as the focal person for the COVID-19 response, what are your experiences and what have you learned from them?
Hi, Doc. So, being the focal person of our returning residents, OFWs, APORs, and ROFs is really very challenging. It changes my life a lot, like I have to be available for them all the time. Especially during those times that Bohol has opened its borders for them to return home, I am really deprived of sleep, and yet I have to patiently answer all of their inquiries. I have experienced having 90 text messages in one day and will receive complaints because I cannot reply right there and then. And I cannot answer their phone calls, as I also need to assist our walk-in clients lining up outside the office. But as a focal person, being mentored by our Mayor Suarez, he always told me that I have to give my widespread of understanding because these people, he always told me I have to put in mind that these people have undergone a lot of stress and trauma in the current place where they are in. So, but sometimes a lot of people get upset because we have to follow protocol. But how I wish these people can realize, or I really wanted them to know that all of those things we are doing, or all the procedures we are following, are just in accordance to the executive order of our governor. And I really hope that people can understand that we are just following. I am just facilitating as a focal person. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Rosel. Good afternoon, Pastor Pon.
Hi, good afternoon, Doc.
My question for you is, during the pandemic, what would you say are the best practices of the LGU?
Best practices as far as LGU Sagbayan is concerned, I think we have a lot more. Like among 47 municipalities in the province of Bohol, our TTMF, temporary treatment and monitoring facilities, are one of a kind.
Okay.
Why? Because it is fully furnished with strong Wi-Fi connection. Unlike other TTMF in other municipalities, they don't have strong Wi-Fi connection. We also put up cable connection so that those who would be in the isolation facilities would not be bored. Aside from cable, Doc, actually we also have provided world-class comfort room, world-class standard comfort room, and shower rooms. You know,
Yeah.
in both quarantine and isolation facilities. So I should say it's a world-class because it's similar to the standard of a 5-star hotel. Yeah, that's very true. And so I should say that our TTMF is par excellence compared to other TTMF in other municipalities in the province of Bohol.
Okay.
That is one best practice that all Sagbayanon is proud of. Another thing, of course, is the provision of foods. I think, if not the only one, but one of the few municipalities who have provided meals, not just once a day, but thrice.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that is the reason why those who are confined at the TMF have appreciated a lot. No? The local government of Sagbayan and the leadership of Mayor Suarez for providing meals free of charge, of course, to those who are at the confinement. Another thing is the procurement, the purchase of our RAT and RT-PCR test. We purchased our own RAT and RT-PCR test. We don't depend on the provincial government and other entities, but we have purchased our own RAT and RT-PCR test.
Yes.
And that is one, I think, good and best practice that we have done so far. There are many more, but I could only cite 3 specifically: the TTMF provision of foods and the purchase of RAT and RT-PCR test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pastor Pon, for your...
Thank you so much, Doc, for this interview.
Aside from the isolation facility, the gymnasium was converted into a quarantine facility. It has 48 stalls. It was used to accommodate LSIs and returning residents, and now it is currently used to isolate confirmed COVID-19 cases. The comfort rooms are quite spacious and beautifully tiled, and is available for male and female. There is also a medical station and a nurse's station for the purpose of monitoring vital signs and other medical services. Both stations are air-conditioned. Each station has its own CR. A hot and cold water dispenser is also provided. It also has free Wi-Fi and cable TV. Cooling fans and industrial fans provide the cool air. A hand wash area was built outside the RHU for the clients to practice hand washing. The RHU staff practiced the wearing of PPEs when facing clients during vaccination and other services. A vaccine room is designated solely for vaccine storage. Refrigerators donated by USAID and DOH are also placed here. The RHU laboratory, equipped with a microscope, a blood chemistry machine, a CBC machine, and a centrifuge. Our medical technologies, currently under DOH, will be devolved to the LGU starting next year in 2022. The RHU pharmacy. It is fully air-conditioned. The medicines are placed in shelves with labels and with date of expiry. All of the medicines stored here were purchased based on the Philippine National Drug Formulary. Medications for mental illness are also available.
The team of the DILG Safety Seal Assessment Team. For assessment yesterday, you passed all the 16 indicators per checklist on the Safety Seal assessment. So today, we will be giving you this Safety Seal. You will be the number 3 established government office here in our municipality that will be given with this Safety Seal.
Wow, thank you very much.
In this Safety Seal, we follow safety and health protocols against COVID-19. So this seal is signed by the members of the DILG team with the PNP and the LDB and of course the DILG local government sector. So congratulations and keep safe always.
Thank you, thank you.
Contact tracers are one of the assets of the COVID response. They are deployed to the field to do immediate contact tracing, surveillance, and IEC. Their contract with the DILG ended last August 8th, and the LGU rehired them so that they could continue their work. Their contract was renewed by the DILG on August 23. The PNP assists the contact tracers by placing police lines to cordon houses where contacts of confirmed cases are required mandatory home quarantine. They also cite Section 9 of Republic Act 11332 for uncooperative individuals.
May hapon, Ma'am Giselle.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Okay, my question is, during the pandemic, what are the expenditures of the LGU and how much have you spent so far?
Okay, Doc. Good afternoon. I am so proud to say, as a purchasing officer, despite of the fact that LGU is a fourth-class municipality, we're able to utilize and spend a huge amount of funds in COVID-19 response. For last year, 2020, we spent more than 14 million, and we purchased rice and canned goods as food packs. We're giving cash assistance for our locally stranded individuals, additional ambulance, isolation facilities. We also purchased a vehicle, which is Isuzu ELF vehicle, rescue vehicle, fire truck, fabricated tent, thermal scanners, and food for our LSIs. And as of this year, September, we spend more than 5 million. We purchased a generator, medical supplies, foldable stretchers, rapid antigen test, body repair and painting for our another vehicle, which is ELF, supplies for isolation facilities, power combiner for handheld radio, boom truck, futon dump truck, and we also purchased hospital beds, oxygen tanks with regulators, and some other medical supplies for our TTMF, or temporary treatment and monitoring facilities, because our Mayor Junjun Suarez doesn't want to serve for less when it comes to the service given to Sagbayanon. For they deserve what is the best for them.
Okay, salamat.
There was a surge of COVID-19 cases in mid-September, wherein the number of active cases reached 81. But because of the swift action of the MIATF and the health sector in using strategies of contact tracing, isolation, and strict enforcement of protocols, the incidents began to decrease, and by early October, there are now 9 active cases left, 329 recovered, and 2 deaths. The LGU Sagbayan will continue its fight against the COVID-19 menace, and all Sagbayanons can look forward to a community with a self-sustainable strategy and responsible citizens with herd immunity.